Now, me personally, my favorite type of shooting is the spontaneous, just grab the camera and let's go. Oh, sorry, I forgot. This video is sponsored by DJI, so I'm supposed to keep this professional. I'm not supposed to say stuff like or face or if you want to see my unsponsored video on this camera, link right there. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at some of this footage, how it grades, how it edits, and also answering some questions that you had asked us in that previous video. But like I was saying, this footage here didn't come from like a produced shoot with a schedule and a crew and all that stuff. It was just Angel giving me a call and saying, hey, I'm going to go do some crazy stuff on the motorcycle tonight. You feel like coming by? I'm like, sure, I'll be there in half an hour. So the thing that excites me the most is how much you can get out of this camera as a solo operator. And this spot right here that we were filming was about a mile away from our parking lot. So I just had this in one hand, batteries and lenses in my backpack, one wheel under my feet, and that's all I needed. To get similar results in the past used to be a lot more effort and a lot more gear. So I probably would have just been like, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot this handheld. Now I wanted to see what this camera was capable of, so I shot this all in 6K ProRes RAW. And keep in mind that if you want to use RAW and use the full sensor, you have to shoot 6K. So just be prepared for some massive file sizes. Although ProRes RAW is not that much bigger than ProRes 422 HQ, so if you're going to be shooting 6K anyways, might as well get that extra flexibility by shooting RAW. Now I went ahead and cut this on my 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it's pretty fluid. And this isn't the M1X chip yet. I'm waiting for that one to come in. Can't wait for it. But I have it set to quarter resolution, and I could skip around pretty easily. I got the adjustment layer on there as well, so it's also processing that. Now in the short window of filming, I did almost fill up a half terabyte of footage, so some to be prepared for. Now if you want to go into 4K or 2K, you can always do that while maintaining that full sensor if you're shooting 422 HQ in ProRes or H.264. That way it'll downscale it in the camera. But again, if you want to shoot RAW, you have to keep it at 6K to use that full sensor. Also, a huge shout out to Angel and her friends for coming out and letting me film. Instagram handles down there in the description. And man, there's one guy in there that was really especially talented. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, is that me? May not look like it, but I am doing all the balancing, and it's a lot of hard work and practice I did. I'm just kidding. I actually thought I was gonna die, so I'm happy I'm still here. It's good to be alive. Now we all know that filming during golden hour is awesome, but it does also require a pretty solid camera to get a good image because of the amount of dynamic range required. And right now this is BT709. You can see the sky is totally blown out there, but let's go ahead and throw it into D gamut. Instead of the whole sky being blown out, the sun is nicely contained right there. And then from here, I can go ahead and apply a D-Log LUT right there, and then make some adjustments to bring up the exposure in the shadow. I can even bring down the sky a little bit and add a little bit of saturation if I want to. And then you get to end up with a much more natural image. So if you're using this camera, pretty easy to just shoot it flat and then throw on that D-Log LUT and then grade it from there. Now, of course, a lot of color grading comes down to personal taste, but just to give you some examples, here's some footage that's just shot in D-Log, and I made no adjustments except for with the D-Log LUT on there, so you can see what a direct application looks like with no other tweaks. Another thing is when it comes to 6K, you don't always need 6K. A lot of times it's overkill, but since I shot it in 6K, I took advantage of it. I added some digital zoom outs. I mean, it's kind of a funky effect that I thought kind of fit with the music. Like this shot here, I start off at 211% scale and zoom out from there. I had to do that because I was pretty rusty with that joystick there. If you look at the original shot, you can see I way misframed them. Like this shot here, he starts off way in the distance and he finally gets right up to the camera right around there. But if I wanted to track him a little bit more for the first half of the shot, I'll drop some keyframes there. And let's go kind of crazy. Let's go 250%. And now we get to ride out with him in a closer shot. So So pretty cool to have those options if you want it. Only other thing I noticed was that the DJI 24mm does have a little bit of distortion, so you can kind of see that it kind of bows a little bit. So I just applied a lens distortion. I just adjusted that curvature to -11, but you know, depending on what kind of lens you have, you can just straighten out those lines. Easy fix in Premiere. Now, filming with a camera that has a head that can turn in different directions, it's a whole nother experience in itself. For example, this shot, I was riding the one wheel forward, so I had to keep my eyes in front of me, and I had the camera and screen in front of me, but then I had the camera turned behind me. Kind of like how you would operate a Steadicam in Don Juan, where you're moving forward, but the camera's behind you. Now, this feature was really helpful on one of the jobs I took it on, and unfortunately, I can't share any of the footage for at least another few months, but I can do a little recreation of some of the shots we had to get. We were filming in a really tight mock-up cockpit of a helicopter, and I had to get all these shots like an over-the-shoulder shot of a tablet, and I had to get the camera right up against the ceiling. And think about how hard this shot would be with a lot of other longer bodied cameras. I also had to do a shot where I was tracking somebody and then pivot off to the side, and I go in through the front window, and instead of having to take the whole camera and turning it, I just stuck the lens through and turned just the head, and that was very convenient. Another shot that was tough was having two pilots sit next to each other, and I had to basically pan back and forth between the two, and if that was a bigger camera on a tripod, I would have just whacked them in the face with lenses every time I swung back and forth. But here I just used the joystick to look back and forth, but also I had this on a tripod, so I could actually use the tripod to position the camera slightly further away, so if I look at somebody, I'm not right there in their face. We also had a little bit of fun and rented out a Polaris slingshot. That's right, we had a little bit of budget thanks to the sponsorship. What's up? Now the slingshot's pretty fun to film out of. You get that nice low angle, you get some good speed out of it, and it's street legal, so you can drive around. I'm still in my seatbelt. I just have this camera kind of hanging out the side, so when you drive by a cop, they're not gonna pull you over. Unfortunately, you have to be on the passenger side because the driver, of course, is Dylan, and he's focused on driving. So I'm just sticking this camera out the side of this door. But again, my favorite part of all this is that it didn't require all this rigging or crew or anything like that. It's just sticking a camera out the side of the vehicle, and then you ride into a dark place, then no problem, just pull off some NDs, which only takes like 5 seconds, and then keep going. And at the end of the day, we still get to come home to some pretty epic footage. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what kind of questions you guys have about this camera. Let's go to the outside world. How is this camera for vlogging? It actually might be kind of useful in some cases. I'm vlogging myself right here. I'm controlling the camera with this remote right here. And actually, if you look to the left, the camera is just right there in the car itself. Also, check this out. I have a microphone mounted onto here, which is sending a signal to the Rode Wireless Go 2, which is sending a signal to the camera, so I can step away from the camera and still get pretty clear audio. I'm right next to a road right here, and there's all kinds of cars, so there may be some road noise from cars there. But how is this image looking? I'm also recording in 4K H.264 because I don't want to explode my hard drives with ProRes if I'm vlogging. Also, this is in D-Log, so I'm not sure if the codec is strong enough to be able to handle the D-Log, so maybe I should be filming in HLG for something like this. But if this looks decent and there's not too much banding and the details still seem okay, I'd be pretty happy with this. This is looking pretty good, and the dynamic range is really good, and I'm able to monitor my hair. This part is always the part that's like pew, so I can see when that's happening. But also, have you guys heard that DJI is putting out their own microphone? Apparently it's not going to be available for another few months, but I'm very curious to test that against the Rode Wireless Go 2. So I kind of want to test out this 4K. So here's me here on a 50mm, and if we crop into 200%, this is how I look. How's the details? Again, it's 4K in H.264, so might not look so good, but here's 400, 800, 1000, and the bit rate is this many. I don't know right now, so that's why I'm pointing to the sky, and I'm gonna rely on myself in post to put that information in there. All right, let's go ahead and pull up some comments. The New Travel says, we're living in the golden age of camera tech. Yeah, I can't deny that. I mean, think about how far cameras have gone in the last 10 years. Authentic says that LiDAR focus system is kind of nutty. It kind of is. I mean, that's what I'm using right now, and it works really well as long as you're within that 10-meter range of it. And it's especially crazy when you have some manual lenses that shouldn't have autofocus, but all of a sudden does now. That's pretty cool. Also, check it out. If you look back that way to the cargo ships, that's where all the backup is happening. So if you're wondering why your premium life-size Barbie playset is 3 months back ordered, it's probably on one of those ships out there. Chris Brown says, how many features do you want in this camera? DJI, yes. I'm supposed to be answering questions. How heavy is it and how comfortable is it to use from an ergonomics point of view? Well, it feels pretty good because you got your 2 grips right here, and a lot of times you could just press that battery up against your chest for that 3rd point of contact. Here's the weight right here, and if you're planning on doing some really long takes, it's probably worth getting an easy rig and just hooking it up to that top handle. How about battery life? I'd say it's pretty decent. Let's go ahead and cut to a test. Can the grips be swapped out for left-handers? Well, you kind of use both hands, so the left is the joystick to control that camera and the right hand is for focus. So even if you're left-handed, you probably can still use the same setup. All right, let me go ahead and just scoot over a few feet here so it seems like I set up a different shot for each one of these and put in some effort. I wonder how fussy the LiDAR is in terms of positioning. I see that you can slide the LiDAR forward and backwards. Do you have to recalibrate it? Is the focus a bit off if you slide that LiDAR thing too far or near? No, actually, you just slide it forward and back to remove it, but there's a spot where it locks into place at the very front. Epic. I wonder if they will make a smaller little brother version of this also. That's one of the first things I said to DJI after I saw this is like, can we get like a APS-C version of these that I can use to vlog with so I'm not doing this crazy thing? You know, it's actually kind of crazy how many different looks you can get out of just the camera being in one spot this whole time on a 50 mil. The biggest question I have is it using Hasselblad tech for the sensors and lenses? It'd be amazing if we could get some of the pedigree in an affordable cinema camera considering all these features it has. Honestly, I don't know, but I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, this image looks pretty good, right? And Hasselblad's been around forever. And for those of you who don't know, Hasselblad was acquired by DJI, not completely, but I think they're majority shareholder, I think in 2017 or something like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting Hasselblad tech in here, but nothing official. Check it out. Another wide shot. I mean, come on. This has got to be like one of the most cinematic vlog comment reads ever. Hey, what's going on? Check it out. I'm actually filming a video right now. You want to see? So that's us right now. We're recording, and I'm actually sending this wireless microphone over to the van, which is where the camera is, and I can control the camera. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like
pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you too.
I like your channel.
Appreciate it. Thanks. All right. Justin says, kind of want to see if DJI comes out with a more compact version. Yeah. DJI, I hope you're listening. Well, actually, they're definitely listening because they're sponsoring this episode and they're gonna watch through it to make sure that I don't say anything too stupid or too unprofessional and have my pants on the whole time. I think that's one of the requirements in the contract. It's like, I gotta keep my pants on. All right, now let's go ahead and jump up in our ISO to ISO 5000, which is the next base for that higher dual native sensitivity. And how is this looking? We're still in H.264. And honestly, at first I thought that H.264 was gonna be kind of useless on a camera like this, but you know, it's looking pretty decent so far. Right now we're at ISO 12800 to see what this looks like, and check this out. Not only is this my monitor as well as my joystick as well as my microphone, it's also my face light. Versatility. What's up? Might as well read a few more comments while we're here, huh? Imagine when they bring out a mini version like this for portable lightweight filmmaking. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm waiting for now. Like, now that I know that this is possible, I want like a smaller version of this. Yeah, that'd be so sick. Where is that grassy, hilly location? We'd love to get a sunrise sunset shot there. Yeah, that was a nice spot. That was Chino Hills State Park. You could actually drive right up to that spot. You can actually see it on Google Maps Street View. I think you look out this way and yeah, look at that view. On its question, how long have you had the camera? Everyone released their videos in the last 24 hours. Now, the first time I ever saw it was right after we filmed that DJI Q&A video, which was I think about 6 months ago. They came over to my house and they showed it to me and they put a gun up to my face and said, if you tell anyone about this, will smother your unborn child. I don't know if that's what they said. My memory's kind of fuzzy. And then end of July is when they first gave me like a prototype to start testing out. So we've had it for a few months, but there's an embargo, which means we're just not allowed to talk about it for the time we have it until a certain day. And as soon as the embargo lifts, that's when everyone goes and throws it all on YouTube. So that's why you see all of these videos just get dumped on the platform all at once. All right, guys, after years, I finally found the perfect vlog setup right here. Carrie, I need your help real quick. Can you film this camera setup so I could show them. Got the camera and got the microphone mounted off to the side. How do you do this with long hair? Does it always just go in your mouth? Happy Halloween, by the way, which would explain why I'm wearing this ridiculous wig. But I just always have this in my shelf. I bought it for a shoot long time ago, and whenever Halloween comes around, I just pull it out and put it on and go, look, see, I'm part of the Halloween spirit. Well, I realize by the time I upload this, it's probably gonna be, you know, Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. If I actually tilt down, I could actually see the camera itself. I took off that top handle, so I'm just shooting straight over the top now. But how does it look? My arms feel like it's about to fall off, but it probably looks pretty good. Oh my God, I gotta take this off. It's so uncomfortable. Long hair, it's stuck on my head now. Can you help me, please? I need both hands for this vlog camera. I'm also doing a giveaway with my Ronin RS2. Details down there in the comments. Whoa, hey, don't tell my girlfriend that I'm hanging out with you, all right? But anyways, happy Halloween, even though it's already over by the time you see this. So happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas and New Year and all that stuff. It's a fun time of year. It's coming up. Mozzarella, you look so beautiful. Wow.